Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper.
And today we're continuing on with our Alphabet Soup Challenge. We're all the way to letter W.
W.
One of the last ones we're going to do here.
Yes.
We're on the home stretch. But yeah, if you want to check out what we've done so far, you can go back on all those previous letters, look at all those videos, see what we have to say about all the games in our collection. Played through all of them A to Z, and see if we are going to end up keeping them, because kind of the challenge was to cull down our collection a little bit, but we haven't been doing that as much as we'd like, but maybe at the end of the year we'll take another look back and see additional games we will cull. I want to get rid of at least probably 10 to 15, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's at least that many, if not more. So I'm going to force myself to do that.
I think each of us could easily come up with that many.
We probably could.
But to agree on that many.
That would be a little tougher.
That's tougher.
But yeah, let's get right into the W's. We got some good games, I think. But we'll start with one of your favorites, Pepper. Welcome to your new home. We played this one in the Not Your Average board game tournament. This is a...
We played it twice.
Well, in two different tournaments.
Yes.
But yes, this is a flip and right game where you are trying to you start with three different rows of
kind of streets,
with houses on them, and you're putting numbers in them, and they must be in ascending order. They don't have to be back to back or anything like that, but you do have to have, so you go from like 2, 4, 5, 7, has to go in ascending order, and then you're using fences to kind of split them into certain ways to score points.
Yeah, you kind of got double-sided cards, one side with a number, the other side with an effect, which each kind of has its own scoring thing. One is fences that you can use to get those kind of separate off and get certain cards, goal cards, with different sets of fenced-in areas. And it's really cool that you have 3 decks, and you flip the card over to reveal a number, and each one of them on the top of their respective decks
are showing
also
you
has
kind of what you're gonna...
that effect or whatever that is, or vice versa. I forget which one's which, but yeah. So I just really like that, having those different options of all the different, and like you said, you can kind of see what's coming up as well. I've enjoyed this one quite a bit. It's one of the earliest and right games we got, and I think it's been solid every time. The last couple plays have been in the tournament, or at least the last one, and I feel like
been a little long.
With all those people, you're bound to have someone usually each turn having a little tougher time deciding, which I've definitely been that person before, so I understand, but when you have that many people, bound to have that pretty much every turn, so that's probably brought it down a little bit just from the longer plays, but still a solid one.
Yeah, we're definitely keeping this one in the collection. This is one we actually got at Barnes & Noble. It was like a special dry erase version of it, and that came with actually some seasonal expansion type boards. So we're going to have to do the winter one here too, yes. But yeah, we really like this one in this house.
Go, you held a picture of it outside your house.
That's true.
You got it. So.
Yeah, we can't let that one go. But yes, then we get to one that we had not played until just recently. We hadn't played this year. But that is Way of the Panda.
Yes, this is
on my... Simon game.
Simon. This is on my wish list games over a year ago, and you can check out that video and the revisiting the wish list video.
Yeah.
I assume this will.
And when we filmed that, we hadn't actually played.
We hadn't actually played it. So, but yeah, we finally got around to this about a little under a year after actually getting it, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's just a really cool action selection mechanism of kind of one of those ratcheting type things where you can go so far but you can't go back. And the farther you go, they're more powerful actions, but also cost you more action points. And it's kind of also got, if someone's in the space, you have to outdo them and place more of your workers there. But then at the end of the round, the amount of workers that you pull off of that board gives you more actions, 1 for 1. So just a lot of really cool things with that, as well as a ton of satisfying ways to get points on the board.
Yeah, I would agree, and that being able to get additional actions based on how many people you're putting on there is what really makes that board work, I think.
Because usually it's like any way to avoid having to pay extra workers
in most games.
And this one, it's like, I
Sometimes
want
you
to
want
go
to,
there.
yes.
I want to go there.
Because I'm like, I don't really want to do that many more actions after this.
Yeah.
So if I can spend 3 versus 2, I'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
Take that option.
Yeah,
so.
this is something I've never felt in a game.
Right. Yeah, that
really
was a
cool.
weird concept to kind of get over. But yeah, I really liked it as well. I don't know. You'd kind of brought me into this, and I think my expectations got a little high because you'd said Council of 4. And I think I definitely prefer Council of 4 over this one. But I can see where there were some similarities, but some differences as well, for sure.
Well, mostly just an
Pretty
affordable
good,
command game.
Right, that's true. And yeah, it's a solid production, but yeah, I would say I think I need a few more plays to really peg down what I really think of this one, because I know there were times during the game and I'm like, I want to do this because it seems cool, but I wasn't really sure if that was really what was getting me points.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that took me maybe a little bit of time to really think out, well, I can do this, and it seems like that's progressing the game, but it's not actually getting me the best points for my bucks.
Yep.
So I think once we play it a few more times and kind of get a better feel of that, I'll know better thoughts on it. But as of now, I'm definitely looking forward to giving it some more plays.
Yep.
And then we've got Walls of York, which is one you got for Michaela.
Yes.
And I would almost call this a glorified roll and write.
Yeah.
Kind of overproduced, almost, in a way.
A roll in place, pretty much.
Right.
Instead of writing, you're using 3D little walls.
It's kind of like era medieval age.
Yep.
Is what it reminds me of. Only, hate to say it, but era medieval age, outside of their board, definitely does the buildings better. Because unless you're really just putting wall
it's
pieces.
just walls.
So, but yeah, this one you roll the dice, and then everyone has to place a certain shape. It's either like straight walls or a curved wall.
Yep.
It'd be the same as if you were drawing it, but you get to put out little pieces, and you're trying to enclose a certain amount of 3 different types of buildings. And then there's coins in there as well, and then kind of Vikings that are going to battle you. So you want the least amount of those if possible, the most coins, and get the right amount of buildings. I did find that pretty interesting, but I don't know long term if this one had enough satisfying pieces to it to really do it. And when I think of if I wanted a roll and write type game to be kind of overproduced, I just really, really prefer Era. That's actually a game that I really like, and I think for some reason, even though they're different, they're definitely different. This one's much simpler, I think. But when I compare them, I just immediately think of that, and I'm just like, I just love that one. 5 to 10 times better than this one. So it's going to be a long thing for this one to overcome.
Yeah, I think it's a really good, lightweight, easy filler game. Very quick, very snappy. I do like if you complete your thing first.
That is a cool thing.
Additionally, each round after that you're going to gain coins, instead of while they're still trying to fill in their things. I really, really enjoy that.
Yeah, I will agree on that because sometimes then you're fine taking Vikings if you can get done quick enough comparatively.
Yeah,
you can make
that's
it.
That's going to be -5 points. If you can make that up, it's worth it. But yeah, so really enjoyed that, and just kind of trying to puzzle it out on what you're gonna have to get, and in our 2 rounds we ended up needing a lot of the same buildings back to back, and the second round those were all on like the outside of the board, so we needed to include like almost our entire map,
probably 70 to 80% of the map to be able to fulfill them.
I don't know if there's quite enough variability from game, especially just in a single game, because everyone is getting the same shape and everyone's using the same map. So I could see possibly in time house ruling, maybe even just like random maps for each player. You get what you get. It's going to be different from the other player, but and then possibly even additional rounds, because it does feel a little short with just 2 rounds. It feels like it should be 3, maybe. I don't know. Just 3 makes more sense to me, but
it felt like it was going to be 3. I thought it was going to be 3, and then it was 2. So
but I have enjoyed, and Max said she enjoyed it quite a bit as well. So as a hit for a gift for her,
going to give that one some more plays for sure. Because it's very short as well, which is awesome.
And I think this is going to be the 3-way crossover favorite W game for us 3, you, me, and Mac.
Oh boy, Wingspan flying in. swooping in.
Assuming it's yours, of course.
It is mine, but there was actually a play of a game we did recently that really made me go back, and I think I had this game in my top 50 late 2 years ago,
Yep.
and then it fell out this last year because we had not played it.
Yep.
And now we got back to it, and I'm like, oh gosh, this should have been in my top 50, I think. But yes, Wingspan still probably more of a top 10, top 5 for me.
Yep.
It's an amazing game. We've been playing a lot more recently because we went to the World Series of Board Gaming. You can check out a few of our videos we did on that, kind of recapping that, but we played in the tournament. So we kind of went back to base Wingspan, and I've actually really enjoyed that. I mean, I definitely like the birds from the expansion a lot, and they bring so many unique extra powers and abilities, which is really cool. But just going back to just the base game,
it didn't get
there
old.
are things that
it didn't get old.
Seem more powerful than others, but kind of revisiting certain cards and seeing different ways to use them than I would have maybe in previous games was just really kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because it did not seem like it got old, and I was just always wanting to play it like every night. And I've been playing on Board Game Arena quite a bit recently too, so I've probably in the last few months gotten 20 plays of this in, maybe even more. So yeah, this one's definitely. You can check out our videos also on Wingspan, and we did a Stone Timber thing. So if you want to learn a little bit more about Wingspan, you can probably look at those. But we really love it.
For sure. Fantastic.
And the one I was talking about is Whistle Mountain. And this one's just really satisfying. It's also quite unique, I think.
Yep.
There are some things that you have in other games, but there's just something about it that feels unique. I don't know that it really is, but it really feels unique. And also it feels very satisfying with just getting, boom, here's 10 points, boom, here's 7 points, boom. And you've got these star tokens, and there's just a huge file of them, and there's 50 pointers in there, and you're just like, at first, if you've never played, you're like, that seems like a little overkill, but oh boy, do you get those points and rake them in, and it just is cool. It just feels awesome. But in this game, you've got 3 airships. You've got airships sailing around. When we played the game this time, we were thinking about kind of what this realistically would look like, because you're kind of building up this scaffolding and building machines on top of the scaffolding once it's been built out, and you're flying in airships to take actions on these things, and we're just imagining, because it's happening under a bridge for a portion of it, so we're just putting these airships, sailing them down under a bridge, flooding up. I don't know that makes a lot of sense, but
I almost want to see a movie based on that.
Yes. But yeah, it's kind of a worker placement game where you can take, there's a few actions around the edge of the board that you can take, which is cool, because they kind of slot in, some better than others, I think. And then you can kind of actually place them on the map next to scaffolding and get all the pieces next to it.
Resources and machines next to it. Yep.
Right. Yeah, you activate everything kind of around it, which is really satisfying, really cool. There's just a lot of things in this game that are just, I don't know, so satisfying.
Yeah,
I'm shocked it is not talked about more.
Yeah. I think in this last game we played, you had an starting ability that you can place the blimps on scaffolding.
Right. Usually
and then,
you can't.
Yeah, and then I got an upgrade tile, which let me copy that. So we were both doing that pretty much every time.
Right. Because there were so many good spots.
And I think that just made this play
even better.
So it's pretty high in my mind right now. If it weren't for Wingspan, I'd probably say this would be my favorite game.
I think so. I would agree.
And even chance of possibly making it into like the top 50 of the year, because like you said, it is just so satisfying with those chunks of points.
And it's Luke Laurie who helped with Dwellings of Eldervale, which is another game we both really like quite a bit, so it's no surprise. That one kind of has some different feeling things as well to it, so both of those are really solid. But definitely look into this one if you have played Whistle stuff and you think, because it looks like that game, but it's totally different from that game, and definitely check it out if you like.
You haven't actually played that.
Yeah, I think I actually might have with Taylor once, because I think I don't know if he still owns it. I think he owned it at one point, but that was a long time ago. I don't really remember it. No, but I could be remembering wrong. There's a chance you might not like it even if you would. But I would recommend looking into it. But then we get to our last W game, and that is Western Legends. And this one's just one it's just fun to bring out. I don't know that I think it was on my top 50 list a couple years ago. It's a open sandboxy game where you just you can play poker, you can go shoot up some bandits, you can
be good, be a sheriff,
be wanted.
Kind
of have the sheriff chasing you down, or
just mind your own business
players.
And go get some gold and sell it for
nuggets.
I usually do.
Yeah, there's just so many different things you can kind of do in this game. I think some strategies might be a little stronger than others, but if you're just kind of getting into Western themed type game, if you want that kind of feel, this one definitely delivers on that 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
And
for sure.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, just a lot of satisfying gaining of points as well in this game, which I really love.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it'll ever be like my favorite game of all time, but it's just one. Whenever we actually do get it to the table, it's just it's just fun. It's simple.
It just delivers
it makes sense.
A mood and an experience different from any other game.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. So if you're looking for a Western game, definitely look into this one. It's definitely worth a look.
Yes.
We have some expansion content. We still have not tried that out. But maybe one day we will get to it.
One day.
But those are all of our W games. Like you said, Wingspan, I guess, was our favorite. If we were culling games, I would personally probably call Walls of York, but I'm willing to definitely play it a few more times. And anything else, I definitely, Way of the Panda, I would need more plays to really know for sure. But other than that, we have a lot of solid W games. But if you've watched through, let us know below in the comments what your favorite W game is. If there's any in your collection that we didn't mention here that you think are really solid. Otherwise we hope to see you on our other videos in this series or just in general. And as always, don't forget to
keep on nibbling
on our content.